Hello and welcome to the CTM NewsBreak, where we keep you up to date on what's happening right here in town. I'm Diane Sherritt-Steimel. The huge 120-year-old purple beech tree that once towered over the town common has been gone since 2012. But after 7 years of work to save clippings, 2 clones of the original tree will now live on.
In 2012, the purple beech was cut down on the common. And that year we took clippings, and with Western Nursery we grafted them onto fresh roots. 20 clippings, 18 didn't survive, 2 did survive. 1 is here, we'll be unveiling it today. The other is at Sunny Meadow Farm.
Daisy Troop 67512 helped with the planting of the other tree. They learned about the history of the original tree from Fred Merriam of the Chelmsford Historical Society. They planted a time capsule that they'll open in 12 years when they graduate from high school.
It's been a 7-year project and worth every second of it.
The 2 young trees were planted in honor of Arbor Day. In other news, you can once again have some company while you go out to get some exercise. The Chelmsford Board of Health welcomes all to join as they walk on the Bruce Freeman Trail. The walks are on the first and third Thursday of each month from May to September. No registration is required. You can just show up at the Route 110 ball field on the Bruce Freeman Trail at 8 a.m. Congresswoman Lori Trahan has unveiled new legislation to support the cleanup of the Merrimack River. The Stop Sewage Overflow Act dramatically expands and improves the Environmental Protection Agency's Stormwater Reuse Municipal Grant Program, which is used to award federal grants.
As we debate a federal infrastructure package that has a lot of opportunity for us to do that in a green way, right? There's a lot of focus on us not just committing to gray infrastructure and roads and bridges, although that's super important, but also taking care of our environment.
Trahan unveiled the legislation during a Merrimack River stakeholders meeting at the Lowell Regional Wastewater Utility Center. The meeting included members of the local business community, river advocates, and elected leaders from Merrimack River watershed communities. Last year alone, 800 million gallons of sewage and untreated stormwater were released into the river as a result of these outdated systems. And finally, a new proposal would ban organized tackle football through the 7th grade. Kids would still be allowed to play flag or touch football, but youth tackle football would no longer be permitted, and organizers could face stiff fines. We spoke to some football enthusiasts in Chelmsford, and they're not very happy about it. Youth football coaches and parents in Chelmsford say the proposal to ban tackle football in Massachusetts is misguided. Officials from the Massachusetts Youth Football Alliance say that football isn't the same without tackling.
It's kind of like taking ice away from ice hockey.
Supporters say the ban is needed to prevent brain trauma, but football coaches and parents say there have been big changes in the sport. They say kids are hitting less with better equipment, and new guidelines mandate that they're monitored closely.
Yeah, implying that coaches are teaching the same football that NFL players were doing back in the 80s and probably 70s. And that is not true.
When we think of football, we think of what we see for highlights on ESPN and on some of the national level, right? Yeah. But in our community, we don't teach any type of head contact with tackling, right?
And the person receiving the tackle also has training. The kid receiving the tackle, they're taught how to brace, they're taught how to roll with it.
These moms say parents, not politicians, should decide if tackle football is safe.
I don't think there's any more risk in football than there is throwing a cheerleader up in the air, or in gymnastics doing certain stunts. I mean, I think there's a risk associated with any sport. The positives outweigh the negatives for me.
To me, personally, putting our kids in bubble wrap, and this is the beginning of what I feel is a very big ripple effect. It's football right now, but watch it impact all the other sports.
If passed, Massachusetts would be the first state to legislate tackle football age restrictions. Thanks for watching the CTM NewsBreak, brought to you by Chelmsford Telemedia. If you have news we could use, contact us at newsbreak@chelmsfordtv.org. I'm Diane Sherritt-Steimel.